26, 2013, on the eve of Thanksgiving. This is MEZA Grand Duchess RASMASKONEN, talking to you live from Liberty Studios at 5:21 p.m. on this day, this cold, rainy day in Washington, D.C., Building 11, Walter Reed, Bethesda, Maryland. Funny, I wrote two quotations, and I'm going to read them at the end because I don't have them in front of me, and you may not be able to see my image, so therefore. And second one I wrote today, that faults forever fly if nothing is said, and they fester, where we tend to want solution, but the solutions impale those who seek it, and then it exhausts those that bring truth to whatever the need is. And in that time I'm saying, we have to be really careful. I I embrace all people, I love all people, and I do all things. No one is perfect, right? But you begin to realize sometime while working around people what institutionalized racism is, how it is upheld in this environment, this army that I'm working with, getting out and so forth, and how it is upheld, and the things that people go through when you confront them. But as I say to all people who find themselves at a disadvantage of being alone without an advocate, the best thing you do is confront it as it comes. You get a lot of plausible excuses. I wouldn't do that because it's gonna be upsetting to the system. Well, uh, racism is not only upsetting. I don't think that can be comfortable to the system. Verbal abuse and sexual discrimination or identity discrimination, that cannot be comfortable to the system. We're here to work and to provide a service and should be respected for the individuality and our uniqueness of religion, culture, and so forth, and of our talents. Just therefore, if you cannot respect us, our talents, there is no need for you to work in that environment. Because what you're basically saying, whether you're a Christian or whatever, which most of them are, I cannot respect somebody because I'm a Christian, which their greatest commandment is love thy neighbor as thyself. That is the dichotomy we face in this institution today. I was unaware, you know, I was unaware of the sheer naivety sometimes of just being good and nice and dutiful and keep on smiling. It's good to do those things. Never become frustrated, never dwell in the assault, never dwell in the problem itself. Dwell in your happiness and find solution for it. But in finding solution around here and trying to get things done around here, the old issues come up, and they come up as insecurity of some of these professional, insecurity of self, unwillingness to accept change, and to bring their personal opinion into a professional environment, which is very which unbalances or causes upset in the environment itself. So I don't know if I could be quiet at institutional racism, being a professional. I don't think it is plausible for the structure and function and the advancement of any people or group of people with a common goal in a democratic society. I find it to be absurd. I find it to be disingenuous and insincere. I had to deal with all of that today. But a lot of times, I'm working with doctors, nurses, and so forth, and etc., etc. And in that sense, it is unfortunate. Sometimes intelligence bring more cultural bias than anything else. So imagine what we're dealing with on a greater level, at an international level. If I have to face this with people like me, I mean, people that work in an environment like me, that's supposed to work in working towards a similar goal. I I find it abominable today when we're about to give thanks. Let's be thankful. You know, no one wants to hear all the little disturbing things that people go through. But let's be thankful for that first Thanksgiving Day, whatever it was, because they surely made sure we ate and we weren't hungry. But in the end, the Indians were annihilated and massacred, millions of them, and segregated to sections of Oklahoma, Arizona, and so forth. And while we're not dwelling in the past, we still have a football team, which I love the Redskins and I love the name Washington Redskins. I love it. But there's a group of people that says that's offensive to my race, to my culture, and to my well-being. Therefore, I say if it's not such an offense, then maybe we should consider changing the name to Washington Niggers and see how many people will appreciate that that slogan or that logo. Let's call them the Washington Niggers rather than the Redskins and see how that feels and see how far that goes without a protest. Today I am protesting an institutional racism and a disadvantage in Building 62 here at Walter Reed. It's a battle I have been fighting for a long time. But I want to give people that tell people alone that you are never alone. Be empowered by your abilities. Be empowered by your beliefs, no matter how difficult it is, because in the end, it is the strength of your beliefs that you will be known for. And Martin Luther King, amongst others, set that example. That is why they are called Christians today. So let them operate in their discriminatory and their abuse and whatever they want to do. But stand, not take a stand. Don't take a stance. Don't take a stance. Take a stand and speak up against it. We have come too far in this society, too much blood, sweat, and tears to give up respect of each other to the few that laugh and snicker and act and are disingenuous. We have a constitution that states everything. We don't need any more laws to defend any other groups. We just want to be treated fairly. Fairly and get what is due. But that is the problem for a lot of people. We cannot be fair. We cannot be set somebody else at an advantage because of our own personal insecurities. But rise above them because I'm confident and proud of myself. And I hope they find that too. And on this Thanksgiving Day, I want you to take that into consideration. If you were not fed by those Indians, where would you and your families be? Who knows? Maybe a massacre would have occurred anyway. But I am speaking out about this racism here at Walter Reed, the discrimination and assault, and what we are allowed and not allowed to do to create peace in the environment. What a thing. Don't speak up for racism, assault, or whatever to maintain peace in an environment. That's absolutely absurd to me. And no matter what the consequences, I would stand up and say it again because the truth hurts. I want to read, let me see, let me read my little quotation if I could find it. Let me see, read the quotation. It says here, it says here, it says here, here is my quotation. Here is my quotation. This is what I was afraid of. I couldn't find it anymore. Here it is. Where is my quotation? I cannot find my quotation. I cannot find the quotation, and I will have to read it to you another day. But this means the Grand Duchess Rasmaskone, and have a good evening. The 26th